yeah, we're just going through a, a few exercises or questions today, so not a lot, just to make sure that we've covered nearly everything, and then you guys we can just chat about the exam as well, um, and then I will still tonight reshare this presentation, um, basically reshare some of the documents, and then also reshare some of the links to previous recordings, all those kind of things that you just have as much as possible. I will also reshare the Excel spreadsheet that you have that as well. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so the first one that we are going to look at again is a question around the last study unit, where we need to look at certain things. Here they ask us to determine the standard deviation of the number of bicycles sold. So very important, bicycles sold is Y. Okay, so they only asking us in this question to look at Y. You don't need to look at X. We don't need to do anything with X. They actually just want to know what is the standard deviation of Y. So this one is actually not a lot of data points. So going to show you how we do it in Excel, but then also this one might even be one of those that you can use the formula. So in your study guide, you will also see way back in the back of a study guide, I think it's Appendix D. Um, all the formulas are listed there as well. So that's actually a nice reference as well. If you need any of the formulas, it is in the back of your study guide. You guys are allowed to use your study guides. It is open book. So that is definitely not a problem. But I also just want to show you how we will do it in Excel. Um, and with that, also with that, also just want to see, let me quickly open the Excel spreadsheet that all of the others was in, so that we can just add this one to it. Okay, so let's see, there was regression, so let's start a new one. We're going to call it standard deviation. There was a previous standard deviation, but we're going to do it again. Let me just put this. And let's just crop it so that you can also have it at hand if you want to use this for anything else. Okay, so let's just quickly, and let me just make it bigger so that you guys can see. So also you can use this. I'm going to build in a bit of extra data points. So if you need to add extra data points, so now we only have 4 data points. If you need to add tomorrow extra data points, what we're going to do is we're going to say for this one, we're going to look at that whole block. So it will not make a difference if we work out a mean, a standard, or let's first do variance and then standard deviation. So it will not make a difference if we have nothing in it. But if you then need more points, it is already built into this for you guys so that you can use it. Okay, so X numbers, very important. That was for 1,500, 1,900, 2,500, 3,000. We're not gonna use that in this exercise, but I'm just going to show you if we needed to do that, how we just would have done exactly the same for both of these data sets so that we can get to it. So there's those, then the Y's is 19, 15, 7, 5. Okay, and we want the standard deviation. So there is a function in Excel that is standard deviation. Remember, we're working here with a sample. Um, so standard deviation of a sample. And we're only looking at those numbers. And if we then round that off, we would have gotten to 6,61, which is option B. So if you used Sharp or if you've used your HP, this would just be then put in the 4 numbers that you require to as 0.1, 2, 3, and 4. You're not working out the correlation, so you don't need both numbers or both sets of numbers. You're only looking at the Y's for this question, so you don't need to have a rest. So I think that's also important for tomorrow. Just make sure that what they're asking, that you don't work out too much. Again, it will take some time, so that is nearly the important thing. See this, check what you need to do. You only need to work out the Y's, so don't go and also work with the X's. Not going to make any difference. It's just going to take time. Okay, but let's do both for you. So if we did the standard deviation of the X's, it would have been that. There is a variance function. So variance of the sample, if they ask us variance, it would have been 43. What we can always also test is that variance, the square root of the variance is always equal to your standard deviation. I think we had that on Saturday as one of those theoretical questions, and you guys can see on this it is exactly the same. Um, so if you get it for the exam and you need to put in two extra numbers, 12 and 7, you can automatically see that it will adjust it for you. So it is now set up that if you need to fill all of those numbers, all of these with other numbers, you can do it with this now for the exam. And then if I want you to work out the mean, there's a function of average. There is not a mean function, but well, that doesn't look right. Average. So then we have that for you guys as well. So again, if you need to work out the mean, the variance, or the standard deviation, you can use this spreadsheet. Again, I will share it on the WhatsApp group after this session. Again, if you guys are maybe not on the WhatsApp group, I am posting the link of the WhatsApp group in as well, that you can get access to it. Okay, so there is again just the WhatsApp link is posted. Okay, so let's go into the next question. Benolo, we basically have just 6 or 7 questions. So just 6 or 7 questions, maybe 8 questions to go through. So I'm guessing it will be about an hour, so that you guys have enough time still to go through other things that you want to go through. The WhatsApp group will also still be open for the rest of the evening. I will just mute it tomorrow morning. So that is also yeah, so that you have enough time. Okay, let's go to the next one. And let's quickly see what I've included for the next one. Okay, so now you guys see the same question, nearly the same. 500, isn't this? It seems like one we had before. But let's look at this and see if we see firstly a trend, and then maybe before we put this into a calculator, into Excel or anything like that. So what I would do when I get only these few points, I would just rewrite it over to say, okay, 500, 7, sure, 2000, 15, 900, 19, 1500. Okay, so if I look at this, as VAT increased, then increase, that's a decrease. So this does not look like a lot of, if I look at these numbers, you can't just say as X increases, Y increases. So this for me is not one of those straightforward ones that we can do that. So let's first look at the options, and then we might need to go the next route. Okay, strong positive linear relationship. So what that means is as the one increases, the other one increases. So I'm like, sure, that does not feel like it from the data. Almost no linear, that might be. A perfect negative, definitely not, because then it would be 100% correlated, but just negative. A strong negative linear relationship also feels not really there. Almost no linear relationship. So let's go and make 100% sure about this. So we can do a correlation. I am going to put the question in it as well so that you can use it. For this one, nearly, again, if you use your calculator, depending on which calculator, I know mine, I need to put in the Y and then the X. Other calculators, you first put in the 4 X's, then the 4 Y's. So depending on the calculator, just make 100% sure that you're doing it in the right way. Other thing also that for me is very important with a calculator again is I know with the HP it is like that. So if you did this problem and then you get this problem or this question, then suddenly if you put in the data without clearing it beforehand, this might now be your data input 5 because the previous one had 4 data input. So it might be, if you don't clear it, that now suddenly this goes to data point 5, 6, 7, and 8. And as one is in the exam, we don't always pick that up. What I've seen is they also nearly work with that one of the answers will nearly have that incorrect one built into one of the answers. Okay, we need to get to the correlation. There is a correl function, and the correlation function does not matter which one you put in first and second. Okay, so correlation function, they tell us that is 0.16. So Yeah, that is so it's not a negative, so it's not C or D. There's also not a strong, so that for me is a very weak and almost no linear relationship. It's definitely not one of the others. So I would have gone with that almost no relationship. Okay, for it to be negative, that correlation needed to be negative, and it's definitely not negative. So we can immediately eliminate C and D. Um, a strong positive relationship will be anything above 0.6. And this is definitely not above 0.6. So we're definitely not looking at a strong positive. Unfortunate that they use almost no. So I would have rather have it that it's a very weak relationship. It is still a bit positive, but very weak. So that's why there is nearly no relationship. And you could also see it in the data. So from 5 to 7, 500 to 2000, that's a massive jump. Then as you increase here, suddenly you decrease. So that already tells me there's not a positive or a very strong positive relationship. And then suddenly by increasing 4, now you increasing it by 600. So it is not that easy just to say it's positive or negative because there isn't really a great relationship in this one. Okay, so the next one is that we just do again a quick look at things that we did way back. So I think we've covered a lot of net present values. We covered a lot of the stats things now. But just to nearly remember those things that we did nearly at the beginning of the semester, and things that we might have totally forgotten. So this one is a question that looks at continuous compounding. Um, so remember nearly continuous compounding. There's a formula for that. We can't use our calculators to do this. You need to work it out with a formula. So it's not a built-in function in a calculator. There's no function for this in Excel or anything like that. It is unfortunately one of those that we sit with the formula. We will need to use it for this one. Okay, so let's see what they give us. So they tell us if 25,000 accumulates, so we have the P accumulates to that, so we have the S after 54 months, so we have the T. So we basically need to work out what is the interest rate. Okay, so this is one of those that you guys, if you nearly don't know at all how to rearrange the formula to get to that, you can actually play around with this. So if you don't know how to, but I will show you how to, but what you can do is just to say, we've got the P, so 25,000. e to the power of c times t, and just remember that t, they say months, so it is 54 divided by 12. So if you wanted now to use your calculator and say, okay, let's put in 9,6 into this formula, multiply 9,6% with 34 over 12. You take E of that and multiply by 25. Do I get 36,000? If that doesn't work, go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one until you get it. So that is a way nearly to test it if you don't know what else to do. In that list at the back of your study guide, they've manipulated this a bit. So you can actually rewrite the formula. And let's hope this works. So ln S over P, so we've got those. And again, ln is also log on your calculator. So ln and log, you can, some calculators says ln, mine says that, others say log. It is exactly the same. And then we need to just divide by t. Okay, so gonna work out C ln the S is 36,550 divided by, what is it, 25,000. And then divide by the t, and just remember the t is 54 divided by 12 because it is monthly. Okay, so some of your calculators can do that all in once. Mine unfortunately can't. So now let's just quickly see. So I need to do a few things first. So 36,550 divided by 25,000. That is 1,4620. So I need to take that as a log. So then it is 0,3798. And I will need to divide that by 54 divided by 12, which is 4,5. Okay, so let's see how we do that and if I can get to one of the answers. Okay, so my answer, okay, this is not great. It's 8,44%, which is none of these. Okay, that's not cool. That hopefully is not something that will happen in the exam, because obviously they changed this and did not change some of the extra numbers with it. Okay, that is really not great that this is happening, because that is not nice, because then I probably would have selected C, but yeah, this is not great at all. So obviously they changed some numbers and did not change the answer accordingly. I just want to check something if one uses 20,000 instead of 25,000, if that would have made any difference. Okay, no. So obviously somewhere here was a mistake, but this is definitely how you would go about and do this. So not great that so if we now said 9,6, we would not have gotten an answer. 6,7, we would not. So none of those will actually work. So that is actually not great. That is a question that, and if something like this happens, um, just after you've written the exam, just tell me or on the WhatsApp group, just say there was question 10 or question 15 you guys think there's the issue with. So that we can just flag it as well. So yeah, because it might just happen in the exam. Normally it doesn't, because they really go through it a few times. But just if it happens, let me know if there's something that you guys feel is not right. Okay, a present value. So I remember in the session we had on Saturday, I said there's not a lot of times that they tell us work out the present value, work out the future value. So here was actually one that they said, what is the present value? So what is the present value of payments of 5,000? So that's 5,000 Rand that is paid each quarter. So we have PMT, but the critical word, beginning. And so that means on your calculator, you will need to change it to the begin function. So from end to begin, because it is the beginning of each quarter. So also what is important here, so quarterly tells us we must do the payments 4 times a year. Then where is the years? Where's that number? So we can see the interest rate is 9,5. Okay, 10. So again, hiding it for us that it's not that clear. I'm always looking for numbers. So just again, don't misread it, that you don't pick it up because it's in words. So 10 years earning interest rate, 9,5% per year compounded quarterly. Okay, so first thing important when you do it, that you need to put your calculator in the begin function. Then the rest follows as we normally would do. So we will have the 5,000 Rand as your PMT. We will make sure that it is 4 times a year for 10 years. So that is 40 periods. Interest rate is 9.5. And they want the present value. Okay, so if we get the present value, it's 131.242,59. 131.24. Okay, if we did not use the begin function and did it as just one of the normal how we would do everything else, we would have gotten 128,197,89. So that is, if we used on my calculator, it is end. So if you have it at the end of a period and not the begin, there was an answer for you as well. So just again, make 100% sure that you guys have it as the begin function, so that you know that you can't make a mistake. Okay, so that is just one that I wanted to show you guys where I don't think we have looked at the begin in this nearly prep for the exam. So just wanted to show you the begin function as well. Then another one that we sometimes skip over and didn't focus too much on is when you look at the one where you need to change the interest from one to another. So here they talk about simple interest rate per year over a time period, and now 63 days. So that again makes it a bit more difficult, because now that brings in some decimals and things like that. And we need to work out the simple discount. Okay, so, and let me quickly, this one again is, if we look at previous, and I will just share with you guys all the slides that we've done previously, because there is in one of them, and was it maybe, let me quickly just check if it wasn't in this presentation somewhere, but I can copy it again for you guys so you can see there's a lot of things that I will in any case share again. Okay, yeah, it was. So simple interest to simple discount. Okay, so yeah, it was a bit different. So this one, so I'm just going to copy this one so that you guys can see. So yeah, what was we worked out was the simple interest rate. Now we need to get to the discount. Okay, so not 100% the same. So if you need to get to it, let me write it down, and then you guys don't need to work it out. You can just use it. Okay, so you can go and set those two formulas and work it out. So you could have now said, okay, I need to get to the discount. Where's the discount? There it is. I need to say then make both the same, or S or P, then put it as a, two equations. Then you're going through a long process to get to this formula, which you guys don't need to do. You are allowed to just use this formula. You don't need to show them how you got to it. You can use it to get to a discount rate. It is the simple interest rate divided by 1 plus RT. If you need to get to the simple interest rate, all that you need to know is the way that you will get to that is by using the discount rate and say discount divided by 1 minus dt. Okay, you don't need to go through that process to show how you got to it. You're not going to be marked on it. You're going to be marked on multiple choice. You just need to get the right answer. Okay, so we have this now, so we can complete it. So we need to work out the discount. It's the simple interest rate of 0.1858 divided by 1 plus 0.1858 times t, and t in this instance was 63 days, so it's 63 divided by 365. Okay, if it was 3 months, you will say 3 divided by 12. If it was 1 quarter, you would say 1 divided by 4. If it was within 6 months, 6 divided by 12, or it's a half a year, so 1 over 2. So you can nearly, what they can do is change that time component to make it more difficult. But again, the days one for me is in any case the worst one to work out. Okay, again, my calculator is not one of the best, so I first need to say 63 divided by 365. That is 0.1726. That I now need to multiply with 0.1858, which I get as 0.0321. So let me just, which I will then need to add to 1. And I think some of your calculators, you can do some of these steps in 1. So 0.1858 divided by 1,0321 gives me 18% or 18,00. Sure, that is, so that is the 18%, very close. Again, don't like that. So if you have just rounded off somewhere, it might already give you that one. So that for me is not cool. But yeah, at least it is not 18,01 something, and we need to decide if it goes up or not. Okay, so this is just one, as in the way back in this slide back, there was one that we did, needed to work out the simple interest rate when we got the discount. Here we needed to work out the simple discount rate by given the simple interest rate. Okay, and then let's go to the last one. So yes, like I said, just a quick nearly review of a few things that that we haven't looked at, and then I will make sure that we share everything. We can quickly chat after this about the exam as well, so that you're just comfortable with what is happening tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at this question. So again, one of those that is important to see what is needed, how it is compounded, what we need to do. So the accumulated amount that Sotobe will receive after 52 months. And so that already not great, because it will probably need to be divided by 12 or something like that. If he deposits 7,300 into an account earning 9.7% interest per year, compounded every second month. Okay, so we know that he is putting into that account 7,300. That is your present value. The other thing that they tell us, compounded every second month, they could have said to us 6 times a year, and what else? So that is nearly the two things. So we know that the times per year that this is happening is 6 times a year. Then they said to us for 52 months. Okay, so I am going to work that out, but it needs to be then 52 periods. So the easiest to do that is to say 52 divided by 12 to see how many that can't be. It's not divided by 12, so let's just see, it's divided by 6, so 52 divided by 6. Okay, so just check if that is correct. It is 12 times a year. Okay, that times that is 52, so that's perfect. And then our interest that we are looking for is 9.7. And then we will need to work out, where is my cursor, future value. So let's see if all of this is correct. Okay, so the first thing I would just do is to say 7,300. If I look at these answers, that looks very little. That is like an increase of 500 Rand. So might not be that answer, might rather be the others. But let's just quickly see if we've now have all the right information. So present value is 7,300. We have our times per year, that is 6 times per year. We have our interest rate. We had our 8,667 N. And then we need to work out future value. Okay, so that does not work. So obviously there's something that we miss. So let's just look at that again, that we just make 100% sure that we got it. So read this again and tell me, where did we make a mistake? So somewhere we made a mistake. So where did we make a mistake in this one? Okay, so the mistake that we made, and I deliberately did this, is we went for the 52 months. Okay, because that is our time frame. What we forgot is that 52 months, it's only compounded every 2 months. So we actually have the number of periods that we have is not this 52, it is 52 divided by 2, because there's only every second month a payment. So that is only 26. So if that is only 26, that is where the difference comes in. Okay, so very important, this one, because they give it and they make it difficult for us, because they tell us it is 52 months, but in that 52 months, we only making 26 payments. Okay, so that does make it a bit different. That is where they wanted to catch us out. Luckily, when we did the full amount, or the full period, we did not get an answer. Or the answer that I first got was 16 or something like that. So there was not an answer for us if we used the 52 months, because there wasn't 52 periods. There was only 26, because over that 52 periods or months, sorry, I'm now over that 52 months, we only made 26 payments. Okay, so we can't have it as a monthly, it is every second month. Okay, so then we will get to that 11,076,73. So again, this was one of those that I wanted to show you guys, because when I looked at this yesterday, I was like, okay, my first instinct was to go 52. And that's why I just wanted to show you guys, if we went for 52 route, luckily there isn't an answer in this option, but probably in the exam, they might give you a question or an option where you actually used the 52 and the 8 comma and got then an answer. So again, just be careful with that. Okay, so that is nearly it for for this. So really, really good luck for tomorrow morning, everyone. I am going to share the presentations. I know there was a few guys that now for the first time joined. So things that I will share with you on the WhatsApp group is this presentation, and you guys can see there is, of all the things, there is ways that to show how we got to it. So if you want to browse through it tonight, please do. So I will share it with you guys now. I will share the